What's up, you fantastic feasts? Zaba here. I figured it is about time we do a Nostalgix update. I'm putting all these packs in front of me so I can keep opening them while talking to you, get that retention up, and let's just get started. I don't promise to get through all of these, but I'll get through some of them. I can promise that much. So, what has Nostalgix been up to lately? I mean, that's a question I get a lot on the Discord here. If you haven't joined, go to our official website or give us a quick search, Nostalgix Discord. You can find us pretty easily and join there. Lately, we have been fostering the local community and bolstering some behind the scenes, what do you want to say, like structural things within Nostalgix. Obviously, the past year has been a little chaotic, not just within the card game space, but kind of on a global level, I would say. And that has shaken up quite a bit of what we can do, what our competitors are doing, and just generally how games are going. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect to pull a freaking 1 in 100 card here on the first pack. We got an Atomic Frog. That's amazing. I love that. All right, we'll put him back here. He's super cool. So yeah, it's been a lot of foundational stuff, a lot of life stuff, and not a whole lot of progress in terms of new cards and new experiences outside of what you're seeing here. This was our mega effort to get new things out for you guys to play, and I think on our Kickstarter, we did good. We finished our funding, we got it all there, but behind the scenes, we scraped by the edge of our pants. Like, that was an interesting Kickstarter. It started out very strong, and then as it got towards the top, it got a little shaky. Backers would pull out, backers would join back in. Everything would kind of just be in flux every single day. And I was talking directly with a couple different partners, and one of them was going to fund us a sizable chunk at the end there, but wasn't able to get the approval from everybody. They were just kind of back-to-back in meetings, kind of dragging their feet, weren't really sure what they were going to do. And thank goodness we had our other partner come in clutch. That's a really cool Yokaijin. So yeah, getting the funding that we needed for that Kickstarter was a massive, massive uphill battle. And really, it's because of our Australian partner that we were even able to pull that off. Without that, this would have never been funded. I would not be opening these first edition Cosmic Collision cards right here. And that says something. I mean, the industry has changed. When we launched, we had thousands and thousands of backers, and we were one of the first, indie card games in that Renaissance new era of Kickstarter TCGs. Ooh, we got a Star Frog. Nice. And since then, over 200 games have launched, which saturates the market. Magic has kind of taken on the core philosophy, one of them that I started with on Nostalgix, and that is to essentially be open to being the Fortnite of TCGs. We did our crossover with Beastlands, and it was successful. We sold out of it, but I wasn't able to rapidly, nice and tardigrade, get more games on without putting myself at financial risk of not, printing enough and having disappointed a partner, or printing too much and then having to fire sale them. And the logistics of that were a bit tricky for a new game, but I think Magic's doing a tremendous job with that right now. We got the Final Fantasy set coming out soon. We had games that failed, that tried everything and failed, and I do not fault them whatsoever. This is such a difficult freaking path. If you guys want to be millionaires, seriously, just invest in the stock market. Do not start your own card game. Even if you get $1 million, you don't have $1 million. Like, I did that parody video a while back where it's like, if I had $1 million, I'd be broke. Freaking real. Like, the moment that Kickstarter ended, money evaporated. It's all in printing, and then you get staff, and then you have to keep those staff, and then you try to keep them as long as you can, even with dwindling sales, because there's now 200 games. It's hard, So I took a step back from targeting the global market and really went hyper-focused. I was like, if there is a community pocket, I will foster that, and I will send resources to that and let it grow organically. Meanwhile, myself, keeping, a sane mind as much as you can in a situation of feast and famine like that, picking up a career, getting my income completely independent from the game, really just taking a step back and seeing if it continues to hold, if there's still growth in any category, if there's still a demand for more cards. And you guys continue to inspire me. Hundreds of games out there, and people are still saying Nostalgix is their favorite game. And honestly, I have not had an urge to play Magic up until Final Fantasy here. This looks really fun, and that's mostly just because I love Final Fantasy. I played Pokemon TCG Pocket for a bit, uninstalled that. Nostalgix, I still go back to every single month, every couple weeks. I'm at a store playing the game. It's just fun. It's chaotic. It's arcadey. I almost want to say abhor, like something beyond loathe, that card games need a community to be considered successful, that card games need a thriving million-plus player base to be successful. But here we are with Cards Against Humanity, flash in the pan. People love that game. Maybe they'll bring it out once or twice a year for friends at a party, and it's successful, They'll send an email, send out a 90s pack, they'll sell that, successful. But, they don't have a constantly evolving league play tournament configuration for Cards Against Humanity. Like, it doesn't require fundamentally an entire pitch meeting to even understand how to get the game and play it. It's just, you could pick it up and play. It's arcade. And I really wish TCGs had that ability. Like, you could pick up Shell Shock and Taunt Tower and boom, you're good to go. You don't need anything else. Bring these out once or twice a year, battle your friend. Good, done. I wish a TCG could do that, because fostering 200 games and communities across the world, there's going to be winners and losers, and typically it's going to be the ones with the most money that are the winners, because you have to outclass them, or you have to be incredibly fun and broke. So all that to say, I do have plans in the future of Nostalgix. I've got plans for expansion. I'm very much so keeping an eye on the community, where the growth is, and fostering the stores that put the energy into growing the game. I truthfully, there's multiple ways I could take this. Is it generating revenue right now? I mean, I've paid out everything. I still owe on a government loan for Nostalgix, so I'm still paying that out of my own pocket. And that, to me, is an investment every single month, It's not paying for that. I'm not making enough sales to pay that loan. But I still love the game. I love the universe. I love the communities that sprout from it, the people that sprout from it, all the connections. And it's a playground for creativity and a new place to put ideas. So I'm interested in future projects. I'm interested in continuing the lore, continuing into Fantastic Feasts, and creating new sets along the lines of that. Oh my God, we got a kit safe. We got a void rare. Woo! Look at that texture. This is the other thing, okay? I've been making custom cards for 8+ years now. These are still the best looking cards on the entire Froggen planet. Maybe you find some niche Japanese game with Japanese printing and it's got gold textured in, but we literally have that too, okay? Don't tell me Meta 2 is gonna outdo this card. Freaking bet. Throw all the money, throw a Richard Garfield at it. I don't care. These are the best looking cards of any card game. There, I said it, okay? I said it. I'm very, very proud of what we've created. I think we can keep going. We need a community to keep going. To continue printing products, I want to launch Fantastic Feasts in waves and call them courses. So, maybe 30 cards, 40 cards, hell, even 25 cards in a box, kind of like a secret layer here. And if we pull it off like that, I mean, Magic can do mini sets. We could do secret shards. If we launch Fantastic Feast as courses, and maybe you have a 4-course meal, and you've got 25, 25, 25, 25, or higher, then you have a set spread across multiple mini releases that are easily digestible. Pun intended. We could launch a booster box, but the problem with that is the minimums are insanely high. If we don't print 500 boxes, we're paying, $60+ cost on a booster box. So we're not making literally anything. Art time, gone. The other thing is a lot of the cost is in the art, and previously I fought tooth and nail to keep our artists as long as humanly possible in the project. And at some point, we just weren't making enough money to keep them, so they all had to kind of pick up freelance work to maintain their lifestyles as well. And we were one of the last games, I think, to come out before AI. So now there's a whole question of, do you pay through the nose, go back to the artist network, and print Fantastic Feasts with the help of artists that we know and love, or do you utilize more of that? Do you cut costs to get more of the game? And that's something that I feel like a lot of games are facing. AI is advancing incredibly rapidly, and AI art has always been kind of a back and forth point of do you, don't you? And I don't know. I think there's a space to augment human art with AI art. And that's a choice we'll have to make, As a community, we'll have to choose, do we keep this handmade looking art? Do we make this AI? Do we make it a hybrid of each to make it more affordable? End of the day, we need to find some way to get the funds and the community backing to print courses for Fantastic Feasts. And outside that, I am in love with the Holiday Arena. If you guys haven't played Holiday Nostalgix, and I'm guessing almost all of you haven't, this is the way to go. My whole idea with Nostalgix is create the game and then tell people different ways to play with the same cards they already have. Don't make any worthless cards. Try to make all of them have a purpose. And then once you get the game out, give them new ways to play. This is exactly that. So it's player versus player like usual. The Holiday Arenas go in the center and say I start, okay? I flip the top arena up. Now for my turn and your turn, we both can use that arena. We can override it, of course, if we want, but that arena is the arena that we both use for free. Then the next time it's my turn, we flip a new one, and you have 12 of them. So that's getting you through at least, 24 turns, 12 back and forth turns, 24 total turns in one box. And they're chaotic as crap. I mean, Pi Day is like draw 3, mill 14. It's insane. And that changes the dynamic of the entire game. Whereas if there ever was meta decks that developed, this completely counters that and levels the playing field. Now it's a whole new battle. You can do battle decks, which are purposely tailored to be level in difficulty, in power. You could purposely play with these. You could do, 2 taunt towers against 2 shell shocks. You could do multiplayer. Really, it's just like we have hundreds and hundreds of cards right now. How do we find new ways to play? And because the game is one of the most fun games out there, all of your words and mine, I think that's the way to go about it. I'll continue, making new cards. That's the fun part. But I think the fun part is also, how do we use these cards in new ways? How do we make it arcadey, where it's not just, okay, let's show up every week, and that one guy that spends all of his time making decks or looking at synergies is going to kick everybody's butt, and they're going to go home, and then we'll see you in 3 weeks, No, let's play something fun. Yes, you can have that. I think there should be high-level competitive play, but I think there needs to be more ways to play. And that's really what I've been trying to do lately at events, is just shake it up. I swear to Nost, sometimes I'll just walk in and I'll go, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try a different way to play. Let's change up the mana, make it 3 every turn. Just shake it up and make the game feel fresh again. Because when you have, hundreds of cards, but still a limited number of cards, if you're playing the same rules every time, it's going to feel redundant. Even with Pokemon. I mean, how many times have you guys played Pokemon and just been like, oh, it's another game. Well, they got out this card, I'm done. That's not fun. I think with games like actual Fortnite here and GTA 6 coming up, who in their right mind is going to have time to play any card game, let alone, Nostalgix or any indie games? They're going to be playing Magic. They're going to be playing physical video games. Everything's asking for their attention. If you're going to take time to relax, let's make it fun. And that's something I've always wanted to focus on. So anyway, a bit of a soapbox, stepping off that now. How do we get to the next set? What is it about? What plans do we have? So the next set will be called Fantastic Feasts. It's based off food and fairy tales. So think like a dragon roll in sushi, or it's a lot of dragons, but like a croissant in the shape of a dragon. Pokemon did Applin, where it's like an apple dragon. There's a lot of different routes you could take. You could do like a snack-a-lotl where it's like a cupcake stack, or maybe even like macaroons with little fox ears on them. Stuff like that, where it's a cute character, but it's foodie, because we kind of want to tie the entire set back to food. And in each set Nostalgix has come out with, there's been a relentless pursuit in a theme. Base set was like fundamentals of card game. The next one, Harmonic Surge, was all music and electricity. Ooh, that Yugen is so dark. Cosmic Collision is space and spirits. You know, Fantastic Feast, food and fairy tales, or food and fantasy. We really want to drill that home. And then releasing it as courses is a great way to do that. I do have some mechanics in mind for that. I've got some cards in mind. I've got a good spread list upstairs, and I'm interested in making it. I just don't want to see myself put all the time into this just to see it fail and you guys not to have it after teasing it, you know? What if we do all of this, we tease it all, and then we try to launch it and we don't make it? So in the back end, I'm moving in about a month here, which is kind of another element of this. I've been slowly packing everything up, getting ready to move to a different place that I can kind of like restructure. I've got inventory in the basement from Nostalgix, a lot of blister packs. Not so much of anything else, really. It's mostly blister packs and a few booster boxes. I did send quite a few to a partner in Australia who will be putting them in vending machines, both in Oceania, like, you know, New Zealand, Australia, but also Europe. And in addition to that, I've picked up a vending machine myself where I can put Nostalgix products in the US, which is pretty cool. We're potentially working with a partner on the West Coast for other vending options. So there's some growth in that aspect. There's stores in the area that have reached out. Just a couple of days ago here, we got a store in Arizona that was reaching out that just got sold. And the new owner really likes Nostalgix. So there's growth. And where that growth forms, I try to double down. There was even a store in Mexico that backed our Kickstarter quite a bit, got a lot of product, and is now interested in fully hosting the game, weekly tournaments and everything. And I'm working with them to get them some of our remaining starter decks and some additional material like tournament kits and league kits down in Mexico so they can get it started. What is this luck? We got both the Void Rares I love. Venaith, like glitchy black border first edition, and Kitsei. This is a box, y'all. I love it. But yeah, so Mexico's got some stuff. The US has got some stuff going for it. The wild card here, and I'm getting to the end of the packs. I probably will get through this all. I'm kind of in a talkative mood, apparently. The wild card in this all is I've thought, since there are so many games, and freaking, what is this box? Krakenbeard Rainbow Rare. Since there are so many games, and getting a community to stick is difficult, even for established ones, I've considered opening up the design space for Nostalgix to kind of throw a curveball at the industry here. Clearly, I've made all these templates with the team, and they're incredibly stable templates. We've worked on custom Pokemon card templates in the past. I'm interested in releasing the Nostalgix templates publicly and pulling it into something I'd like to call open TCG, pitching you guys this idea. We put all the templates public for, you know, all the cards we have, and we label it as the open TCG template. We give you everything, all the fonts, all the resources to make your own game. If you can create it, you can print it, you have a community for it, boom. We've just done a bunch of the legwork for you to get this up and running. And within that open TCG, it would be my intention to also spawn additional card games in the future. Possibly ones that use the same mana system and layout of Nostalgix, but are different TCGs where the cards could work interchangeably. Doesn't have to be that way, but you could. And my thought with that is Nostalgix would be the first game in open TCG. Other people can make cards if they wanted it to be compatible with Nostalgix, you know, just use similar setups for the attacks and the health and the mana cost. You could essentially create your own add-ons for the game using our public sourced templates. And maybe we would try to sell, you know, like a course on how to use them or more behind the scenes intel with me I don't really have any exact plans on that or any interest currently, but that's something that we could do, where it's like, here's a behind the scenes look, here's direct feedback from Zaba or direct knowledge of how to make a game actually physical. Right now, it's of course a bit crazy. I was looking up earlier here. Yeah, our printer costs a little bit more right now. Not as bad as imagine this 3 times higher. That's what some of our competitors printed sets at when we were charging China 150% tariffs or whatever. People bought at that price. Our competitors are bleeding right now. And granted, we do work with R.R. Donnelley, who has facilities in the U.S. High reflection. But the problem is, and I know a lot of you are like, print in the U.S. then? Okay, cool. Millennium Printing on the East Coast got bought by the Pokemon Company. Cardamundi is the World Series of Poker and Magic the Gathering. When are they going to have paper? R.R. Donnelley might be able to do it. I don't know to what scale they're able to, but all of our paper comes from Canada, who hates us right now. Printing a card game is not exactly easy in the US right now. So that is not a viable solution for our minimums and our ecosystem. So we have to print through our current partner, which is the R.R. Donnelley chain in China, in Dongguan. And they've been amazing. They've got paper. They've had super consistent quality. You're looking at the cards right now. The texture's there. The holographics are there. They have partners in Japan for the holographic and in Germany so that they get the really nice black core that we like. All of these funnel through a chain of production and a chain of resources that end up at the facilities that need them. So even if you found one in the US, it might not have those same capabilities at an equal price. Even with tariffs, it might still be cheaper to print through China. So all that to say, it's a bit difficult, but I would offer my guidance and insights if that's something that anybody wanted. But we're on the last 3 packs here. This is a lot of info. I know not many of you are going to make it through all of this. The ones that do, that truly have interest, I appreciate you. Really, if there is a store near you that could use a game like this, a chaotic, fun, arcade game that still is being demanded by stores in more than one country, let me know. I will send you product for a store. I can send you products for demos. I can send you league kits, tournament kits. At this point, honestly, with me moving in a month, I am happy to lighten the load of what I have to move to my new space. I'm not about to be throwing away boxes, to make the load lighter. But if I can put them to good use, I will absolutely do so. That grows the game, that saves me money in moving costs. And really, I can't bring myself to throw any boxes away. It doesn't make any sense. This game is amazing. It's still growing. It's not at its height of growth, but it is still growing and people are still playing it because it's just got that pull. It's got that love and affection that we put into it in the beginning. And I keep coming back to it. Look at that Titan frog, rounded it off. So all that to say, if you guys are interested in any products that we've got the base set, Harmonic Surge, and Cosmic Collision in stock, as well as the Collector Ren box, the Secret Shards Kickstarter, the Holiday Arena Pack, both the battle decks, and select starter decks, along with all the promo cards from our recent Kickstarter, blister packs with signatures, and a few apparel items I believe are still down there. Let me know. You can visit nostalgixtcg.store to get started, and you can visit nostalgixtcg.com to view all of our cards and contact me directly at Zaba at Nostalgix TCG, like trading card game.com. Hope you guys have a lot of fun with this one. Awesome box. Absolutely beautiful cards. I'm going to go take care of all of this crinkly over here, and I will talk to you guys in a future episode. All right. Zaba out.